This is breaking news from Local 3 News.
And in our breaking news this afternoon, video from the deadly shooting of Roger Hurd Jr. by Chattanooga police has been released by Hamilton County District Attorney Cody Womp. And she says the officers who were involved did the exact job they were called and trained to do. I'm David Carroll. You'll hear from Cornelia Nicholson shortly. The incident happened on Friday night, August 11th, 9 days ago. Plainclothes officers in unmarked cars cornered Roger Hurd Jr. at the Speedway station at the corner of 3rd Street and Holtzclaw Avenue to serve a warrant. As bystanders ran for cover, Officer Kelton Batterson was also shot in that incident. He underwent surgery and is recovering. Now, Grayson Gordon, there at the top of your screen, will review the video, and Cornelia Nicholson is at Studio 58, where friends of Hurd plan to meet, raising money to support his survivors. Local 3 News has decided to show the video, and that is in the interest of truth and transparency. We want to warn you, there are parts of the video that are certainly hard to watch. Here's Grayson Gordon.
David, the entire video is over 15 minutes long, but I'm going to break down the context we're about to learn from the video as well as the district attorney's response. Again, this video may not be suited for everyone and is hard to watch. You can see another law enforcement vehicle coming up behind Hurd and getting out as Hurd reportedly pulls a weapon on investigator Batterson. Batterson was shot in the arm and runs. You can see Hurd running towards the investigator with his weapon out. From another angle, the investigator is able to fire shots at Hurd, knocking him onto the ground while multiple other law enforcement arrive. You can also clearly see another officer administering CPR on Hurd after he was shot. EMS arrived about 8 minutes after he was shot and were able to take over. We don't know exactly how many shots were fired at this moment, and here is part of the video. You can see the weapon recoiling several times. And the video you just saw is owned by a private company. TBI subpoenaed the footage, and DA Cody Womp says it is not Chattanooga Police Department protocol for investigators to wear body cameras, so there is no body camera footage available.
Grayson, thank you. And we wanted to know what the Chattanooga Police Department's use of deadly force policy says. They say the use of deadly force is authorized when an officer reasonably believes that its use is necessary in order to stop an imminent threat of serious bodily harm or death against the officer or another person. After laying out the investigation so far, Hamilton County District Attorney Cody Womp said, "It is times such as this that a community gets to decide where its priorities lie. My hope is that we choose truth over rumors and community over division. My hope is that we can acknowledge what is wrong and embrace what is right." Cornelia Nicholson is live at Studio 58 Sports Bar, where people will be gathering this evening in honor of Roger Hurd's life. Cornelia?
Yeah, David, people are supposed to be gathering here at Studio 58 for a fundraiser to, like you said, honor and celebrate his life. They say that all the money raised will be going to Hurd's family. That should be taking place at 6. Right now, we haven't seen many people show up, but someone drove by and told me that they may be coming in a little later, maybe around 7. Now, last week on Tuesday at that city council meeting, we saw dozens of people show up in droves for Roger Hurd. We also heard from the family, and they say that he leaves behind 5 kids, and they explained to us just how they're going to remember him. Take a listen.
He was a good father, a good cousin, a good son.
And he always trying to make somebody smile. You can be mad and he's still gonna play and joke around and make you laugh.
Now, tonight's event is going to be going from 6 to 11. Again, we're waiting out here to see more people and hear, from them as they're celebrating his life. Again, we're going to be staying out here. Back to you, David.
Thank you, Cornelia. Now, District Attorney Womp described Roger Hurd Jr. as a violent felon, known drug dealer, and a gang member. She also said he has served federal prison time for being a felon in possession of a firearm, with felony convictions out of Hamilton and Bradley counties and an outstanding felony warrant out of Knox County. Womp said that Hurd had a large amount of cash on him when he died, as well as a pound of marijuana in his car, and the firearm that was used to shoot investigator Batterson, she says, was stolen last year in Chattanooga. Earlier this week, nearly 100 people filled the chamber at the Chattanooga City Council protesting the shooting. Hurd's family and friends said there were many unanswered questions. Outside City Hall, they directed their questions to Police Chief Celeste Murphy and Assistant Chief Jerry Sutton.
So any evidence, any information, anything that needs to be turned over for the purpose of the investigation is being handled by the TBI.
So where the TBI at now?
That I don't know.
The TBI is investigating, and they'll present their findings to District Attorney Wamp, who will determine if police actions were justified, although her statement today makes clear she believes police did what they were trained to do. So here's where the investigation stands. 3 officers have been placed on administrative leave, standard procedure. They are Nicholas Ayers, Christopher Dice, and Kelton Batterson. Batterson was wounded and is recovering from surgery, and with the release of security video, the TBI is investigating. Investigator Batterson was also the subject of an internal affairs probe in 2019 for a chase that ended with the suspect crashing into a home. Batterson was found to have violated the department's chase policy and then misrepresented what actually took place. This led to Chief Murphy relieving Batterson of duty last year. He was one of 15 officers issued a Brady letter after the chief learned about their previous misrepresentation and false report allegations. Earlier this year, those officers and the city reached a settlement, and that included their reinstatement and the removal of those letters. Earlier this week, we spoke to a former Hamilton County District Attorney to learn the process of investigating officer-involved shootings. Neil Pinkston says it's important that an outside agency not connected to the case take over such investigations. Specific guidelines are in place when an officer-involved shooting happens, and the law enforcement agency involved is not a part of the investigation.
You want an independent third party to investigate it so it doesn't appear that that third party is just covering up for law enforcement. Investigate the facts and then report those, and then the district attorney will have to determine if charges should be lobbied against whomever.
District Attorney Wamp said in her statement today that no investigation can be completed in just a week. Now, we are following the facts and findings of this officer-involved shooting on air and online. You can see the entire video that was released today inside our app and on local3news.com.